I would like to say thank you, first of all, because one of the things I've asked you about a lot is continuing to allow taxis to go along Tooley Street and Duke Hill Road. And you've listened to me, you've listened to the consultation, so thank you for acting on behalf of taxis on that small point. But my question was, what are you going to do to stop the reduction in the size of the taxi fleet? Because since you became mayor in 2016, the taxi fleet has gone down from 21,759 to 19,122 today. So there's over 2,600 taxis have left the fleet. And the number of taxi drivers has gone down by more than that, by nearly 3,000. So the size is reducing dramatically, whether that's by design or by unintended consequences. You've mentioned some things here, but one of the biggest things that taxi drivers are concerned about is your recent announcement that you're going to reduce the maximum age of a taxi licence from 15 years to 12 years. That will reduce the size of the fleet even more. We had a motion last week in the Assembly asking for you to reconsider. Will you reconsider that point?
Well, let me unpack the 2-minute question, Chair, and deal with the various points. So the numbers of vehicles and drivers has been going down since 2009-2010. It didn't begin in May 2016. And so in 2009-2010, 22,500 vehicles, 25,000 drivers. So the dip didn't begin in May 2016. And a number of reasons which you're well aware of for the reduction since 2009 and 2010. Increased competition from private hire vehicles. The general macroeconomic factors resulted in reduced public spend on taxis, as well as more taxis being decommissioned, as you've referred to in the end of your question. The increased compensation we're giving makes it more attractive for taxi drivers to do so. We should be proud of the fact we have more than 2,000 now zero-emission capable taxis, proud of the fact that rather than taxis contributing more and more toxic stuff to the air, they're now taking steps to address that. But you're right, there are challenges in relation to the numbers of new people doing the knowledge, the numbers of new people applying for licences, and that's why TfL are working with those who want to be black cab drivers to make it easier to do so, but also to raise awareness of it.
You've just given a figure in your answer there. I mean, you've said that the taxi fleet was 22,500 in 2010, and therefore it's been going down since then. But I mean, you're looking at those numbers, that means that in 6 years, from 2010 to 2016, it's gone down by about, 741. But in the 3.5 years since you've been mayor, it's gone down by 2,637. I mean, that is over 3 times as much in your tenure. So you have to be responsible for the reduction in the fleet while you've been the mayor. And it's going down at a rate that is unprecedented. So some of the things you've said there are fine, but it hasn't had any effect on stopping the hemorrhaging of the numbers of taxis. What would you like to see the taxi fleet be by the time you finish your term here in May 2020? Would you like to see numbers go up again?
Well, again, you refer to vehicles, not drivers. Well, there are more and more drivers sharing vehicles now, which wasn't the case before. Often you'd have a driver with one vehicle, now you've got 2 drivers, sometimes 3 drivers sharing a vehicle, and also the phenomenon of renting vehicles as well. I'm quite clear, and I've examined the policies of the first mayor and the second mayor, and we have the most pro-black taxi policies of all 3 mayors, and I include me as the 3rd mayor, and I'm happy to be examined by the previous 2 mayors. And so we're doing what we can to try and help the black taxi trade, but it is a fact. In the last 8 years before I became mayor, the numbers of private vehicles doubled almost. You know this because you talked about it in the past before.
Indeed,
you can't have selective amnesia and pretend there was a great time between 2008 and 2016 and suddenly things have gone bad since 2016. We're doing all the things we said we'd do in our action plan. The more bus lanes can be used, increased marshalling, making sure we tackle those who are applying for hire illegally, making sure we financially assist the black taxi trade. By the way, I'm criticised by private hire vehicles for subsidising the black taxi trade and criticised by you
Mr. Mayor,
for not doing enough.
You have a big decision to make this month, which is to whether to relicense Uber or not. And that's going to have a big effect on the size of the private hire vehicle part of the trade. And if you don't relicense Uber because you think it's not fit and proper, because they haven't fulfilled all the conditions in the probationary 15-month licence that you've given, that will help the taxi trade. What is your position on that, or are you not ready to make an announcement on it yet?
Well, Chair, as much as the Assembly wants me to break the law and as a regulator and licensor announce to the
Well, I
Assembly...
was asking you if you were ready to make an announcement or not. Obviously, from your that comment, you're not ready to make an announcement. So, unfortunately, I've run out of time, so I'll leave it there. Thank you, Chair.